ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So good morning to all of you. So continuing Tattvabodha, last class, or at least till the last class, what we did was we completed a major portion of Tattvabodha, which was on the jiva, on the individual. So we use the word jiva for the individual in Vedanta. When we start analyzing the self, then the word jiva enters, because then it refers to something more than just this body, mind, sense complex. So can you all hear me? Okay. So go ahead, Hem and Mohini, Swapna, just unmute yourself if there is no noise from your side. So that analysis is therefore called Jiva Vichara. Jiva Vichara. And then one more technical word is used, which I introduce now. Vyashti. Vyashti Vichara. You may have heard of the word Vyashti. So that Vyashti means this, something that is limited. This microcosm, we can use the word, an English word, microcosm. Not sure if that word communicates everything, but that is called Vyashti. So Vyashti Vichara. Jiva Vichara, Vyashti Vichara. Versus now what we are going to enter is called the analysis of the world, analysis of Ishvara. All these things will come. So that is called Srishti Vichara. Srishti, creation. I mean, I don't want to use the word creation, but this world, inquiry into the analysis of the cause or the cause of this world. That is called Srishti Vichara. And the technical word would be Samashti Vichara. Vyashti versus Samashti. So we will see some commonalities between Vyashti and Samashti. One is in small scale, mini scale, micro scale. The other is in macro scale. And another, from the point of view of this Mahavakyam, Tattvam Asi, if you take, then the Tvam refers to this Vyashti, correct? This human body, Jiva. So therefore also called Tvampada Vichara. Tvampada Vichara also means the same Jiva Vichara. And therefore the Srishti Vichara is also called Tattvabodha Vichara. So they will say, Shankaracharya will, while he is commenting, he will say Tatpadam, Tatpada Vicharaha, Tatpadam, like that he will say. So then we have to say, oh, okay, he's referring to Ishvara, he's referring to the world, and he's trying to remind us something about that analysis. So in the last satsang, there was a question about Mahavakyas. So Tattvamasi is from Chandogya Upanishad. And then Aham Brahmasmi from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is in Yajurveda. Aham Brahmasmi, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad from Yajurveda. Then Prajnanam Brahma is from Aitreya Upanishad, which is from Rigveda. So Rigveda, Aitreya Upanishad, Prajnanam Brahma. And then Ayamatma Brahma. Ayamatma Brahma is from Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya is from Atharvana Veda. Atharvana Veda, Mandukya Upanishad, Ayamatma Brahma. And then we also said Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So that also happens to be from Chandogya Upanishad. Like Tattvamasi is from Chandogya Upanishad, which is in Samaveda. So like that. So the main ones are, generally they say 4 Mahavakyas. When Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, because there is not an equation there between Jiva and Ishvara. Mahavakya means there must be an equation, right? Jiva is there, the small so-called victim Jiva is there, then this macro is there. So the so-called micro is equal to macro. That equation only can be a Mahavakya. Correct? So, just a recap on that. And even when we study Bhagavad Gita, occasionally there will be a verse which we will say, okay, this here is a Mahavakya, like that. Okay. So we need to, I think, chant a verse here. So before that, let's chant the Dhyana Shloka. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Okay. So Mohini, if you can unmute yourself. I don't remember this next number. 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, probably 50.
2-1, I think.
58, I think, right?
No, 2-1, I think.
Oh, 2-1, exactly, correct. Good point, 2-1. Okay. Atha Chaturvimshati Tattvotpatti Prakaram Vakshyamaha. Okay. So Hem and Supna can unmute yourselves. So now the author is saying, our Swamiji is saying, Vakshyamaha. Vakshyamaha is a verb in this sentence. Generally, when we look at Sanskrit, Even after studying some Sanskrit, sometimes it seems difficult to understand sentences. And that is because these words in Sanskrit can be organized in any way. The noun can come at the end. The verb can come in the front. In English, the verb never comes in the front. Never, correct? Never. Unless there's some colloquial talk, Go, did you? Something like that we can say. Did you go? But that's colloquial. That's not formal English. But here, go did you is, in Sanskrit, it is pakka Sanskrit. So, gatavan va, tvam also given up. Gatavan va. So, like that, gachati kim. Are you going to go? So, like that. So, therefore, you have to spend some time looking at this verb, identifying the verb. So, here the verb is vakshyamaha. Vakshyamaha means we are about to say. We will tell. That is the meaning of vakshyamaha. Future tense. And plural, we. So, this is another tradition. In our tradition, we have very rarely they say I. I am about to say, after all, this is one person writing. It's not a group of people, this high school project, college projects, a group of people. Come on, go. 5 people are there, go do a project. And you know what project they do? And sometimes good things come out of this project. So, group of people writing Tattvabodha. So, it doesn't work like that. So, but only one person says Vakshama. We are about to say, about to tell you. So, that implies that couple of things. One is shy of saying I. Very shy. Because I means, I am about to say means the ahankara rises up. And so, it's as though I am doing something. So often in teaching also, many teachers will use the word we. Because we can include the teacher, it can even include students. It can include people among students who know, correct, we. So very fascinating. So that is one reason. Second reason is, this person is telling there is a whole weight of Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam. So many people have said it. So there is nothing new I am going to say. I am only repeating in a different way what was already said. So Vakshamaha. So Vakshamaha there brings about this tradition. His guru and the guru's guru, etc., all comes here in Vakshamaha. And he says, what Kim Vakshamaha? Tattvotpatti prakaram Vakshamaha. Tattvotpatti. So here this Tattva Utpatti, the Tat refers to this Tattvamasi, Tat. And so the Utpatti, the production, the appearance, the manifestation. Physicists should like these words. Manifestation is a good word. Because creation, if they say this, physicists will just cringe. They say, oh, don't tell me that word. And so Tattvotpatti, let's say for now, the appearance, the production, the creation of this world. And Prakaram, the methodology of the creation of this world. And what kind of methodology? Chaturvimshati. 24. Implying that I am going to tell you a 24-factored model of creation of this world. That is the statement he is making. So this so-called Tattvabodha Vichara. So perhaps we can use in English this cosmology, this subject of cosmology. I think assuming it is a proper science, proper, scientific word, which doesn't include all the other mumbo jumbo that may be there. So maybe that's the word, the scientific word that is used here in science, cosmology. Study of the creation of this world with no limits, the entire cosmos. And he uses the word 24. And immediately we must remember that that's a model. A model can be anything. Just it's a means for us to understand something bigger than the model. So therefore, here it is a 24 element model. And like earlier we saw in the Jiva Vichara, we saw the Panchamaha Mahabhutaihi Kritam Stula Shariram Kim Panchi Krita Panchamahabhutaihi Kritam Satkarnama Janyam. What is the next one? Sukha Dukkhadi Bhogayatanam Shariram. And then Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinashyati iti Shadvikaravat Yad Asti Tad Sthula Shariram. So there we saw Panchamahabhuta. So a model which defines this body, mind, senses. Over. So like that here also. The Panchamahabhuta can be applied for the world also. But here he is saying, no, I'm going to give you a 24 element model. So like in science we have models. If we study chemistry, nobody graduates high school nobody graduates high school or college without being exposed to periodic table of elements. So that's a model. So when I studied, we used to have some 100 and some elements, 8 or 7, 6 like that. But the last time I Googled, I saw number 118. 118. So that means science has progressed some more, right? So they have identified some new elements. So they have this 118 element model. So they are confident. They're saying, hey, you go to moon, you go to anywhere, you won't find any element other than the 118. And if you do, then we will add that, we'll put that as 119. Correct? So they are okay. There's no threat to chemistry. Nobody is threatened that, oh, what happens if the model fails? Model is not, it's fungible model. You can keep adding into it. So A, B, C, etc. They have all these elements. And I don't know how many letters are used up. I don't remember A standing for anything. But elements like gold, AU, silver, AG, argentum, aluminum, AL, like that. And B for boron and C for something else. C for carbon, of course. Great carbon. Like that, there is a model. So it just strikes me. So good thing they don't have, I don't know, does A stand for anything? If you know, let me know. But if not, I'm glad A is still vacant. It's a vacant spot. I think finally, if these chemists and physicists say, you know what, we have forgotten something very big, and that is called Atma. And that big A, let's call it the big A. And so maybe if that time comes, we don't know. And maybe that big A will reflect our Vedanta. So that's a model. That's all we're saying, it's a model. And so we don't have to be carried away by a model. It is used to help us understand the reality. Okay. So in this Mahavakyam, Tattvamasi, Tat refers to, it can refer to Jagat, and it can refer to the cause of this Jagat, cause being Brahma. So the immediate meaning of Tat can be Jagat, or it can be Ishvara, or it can be Brahma. So, and then Tvam. Tvam is you. The immediate meaning of you is me, this individual Jiva, with this body, mind, sense complex. And the implied meaning of Tvam should be Atma. So that kind of relationship is being said in this Mahavakyam, Tattvamasi, which is what makes us inquire into Tat, which is this world, the Ishvara, and what is it? That question arises, which to me is very amazing. That you start with yourself and you end up with the world. Or you end up with all the things in the world and you end up with yourself. You start with the world and end up with yourself. And so who am I? Question arises. So this what does the equation say? This Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, this cause of the world, is this Satchidananda Atma. That is how eventually it will be said. And how is that possible? Is the process, is what is the responsibility of the Shastram to unfold. But then Brahman doesn't create anything. We say the Brahman created the world, then Brahman has authorship. We saw briefly that so Nirgunam Atma, Nirgunam Brahma, etc. So something that has no qualities, something that has no attributes, how that can create something? That question will arise. And so here the author is introducing what we call in Shastram Maya. Maya. So let's chant that. So Hem, if you can repeat along with everybody.
Okay, just a minute.
Brahmashraya
Brahmashraya
Sattva Rajastamo Gunatmika
Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunatmika
Maya Asti.
Maya Asti.
Yeah. So he is just making a statement that Maya Asti. Maya Asti. There is something called Maya. That's all he's saying. So he's quietly introducing Maya here. So again here, so maybe I was just reminded that I did not give you the translation of the previous, Atha Chaturvimshati Tattvapatti. So let me give that translation before I forget. So the translation of that will be now. So Atha means now. And now means what? After, within brackets you can add, after this discussion centered on Atma or Jiva, that is what now means, or now or then also. Atha can mean then also. Interesting how now and then mean almost the same thing sometimes. We shall explain the mode of origin of the 24 essential factors. Origin of the 24 essential factors within brackets of the world of Jagat. We shall explain the mode of origin of the 24 essential factors of Jagat. Okay. So here we are, the Shastram is, the author is taking us to a time before Big Bang. Big Bang we have only heard about, we may not know what Big Bang is. So it is what physicists have proposed. This whole creation started with a Big Bang. So at that time, what was there? Maya Asti. Brahman, of course, is there, and then Maya was. That is what he's taken all the way back before creation, and Maya Asti along with Brahman. And so this creation always thought of as, like in our own creation, father, mother required for creation. Two factors are required for creation. So likewise, Brahma and Maya brought together, there is an aspect called Maya. My father and mother are independent of each other and they come together. But here, Maya cannot be independent of Brahma. If it is independent, we have talking about a parallel reality. And parallel reality we cannot have. Parallel reality we cannot have. So this Maya, which is dependent on Brahma, is there, is required for creation. We'll see a little more later about Maya, etc. So Maya, which is dependent on Brahma, is there before creation, and creation is about to start. This is the way Shastra is presented. So we saw Atma, and we are now beginning to see Brahma. And we are saying Brahma and Atma are the same thing. So why two names for the same thing? Question can be there. Why not use just one word? Brahma, all-pervasive, self-consciousness, all-pervasive. We saw all these things. Why not just use one word? Well, that is not a big question, big problem, because if you look at space, the space is there in this room. This room has so many cubic foot of space, or cubic feet of space. And then if the building is not there, these days what they do is, old buildings, they simply explode, implode, whatever, and then they start constructing new buildings. Very common. And so then what happens when that building goes away? Is the space there or not? The space is very much there. Nobody can destroy space. And I'm reminded of these classes that I attended last week. And there, this author of Advaita Makarandam says, hey, these Panchabhutas are there. Akashaha, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi. And these Chatur Bhutani, starting from Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi. These four bhutas versus Akasha. This Akasha, which are all in the same order of reality, right? All of them are same order of reality. I appreciate Akasha, I appreciate Vayu, etc. These four Bhutani cannot affect Akasha, which is of the same level of reality. How can Brahma be affected, which is not of this order of reality? Like that, one argument Acharya brings up. So in this room, Akasha is there, and the room is not there, Akasha is there. So we can have a name for the contained space, and we have a name for the entire space, big space, Akasha. So inner space versus space. Even though space cannot really be divided, we can have names like this. And we can give another example. You know, we have a person, a lady, she's mother, and she can be called by different names. She's sister, she's neighbor, and she's teacher, and now she's defense minister. Correct? Defense minister. So we're all proud of her today in India, Nirmala Sitaraman. So same person but different names. So nothing wrong. We can have different names based on the function it serves, based on the context. So that is how we appreciate Brahman and Atma. So from the technical words you used, when we talk about Vyashti, we will talk about Atma, correct? Vyashti is Jiva. And so that Brahma which is apparently confined in this body, as though confined, that we will talk of as Atma, we will refer to as Atma. And when we talk about Samashti, the world or Ishvara, where needed, we will talk about Brahma. Correct? So Vyashti, Atma, Samashti context will take us to Brahma. Okay. So last class, we briefly also mentioned, when we look at this world, everything seems to be given. So these planets rotating around sun, the sun is given, the planets are given, and the laws governing all this fantastic motion is given. And there is revolution, and then there is rotation also. Without rotation, life can't exist on Earth. That's amazing. That rotation also is given. And this whole galaxy is given, and many galaxies are there. They say everything is given. And you come to Earth, and I see a vast Earth, and all the tree, plant life is given. And aquatic water is given, and aquatic life is given, animals are given. And whichever way, whichever direction I look, everything is given. No, this is all downtown, and I see all a concrete jungle, they say. All buildings, and parking lots. No, that is not given, that was not there. If we say, then we say, yeah, that was not given before. But this Shakti is given to me. The ability to recognize, ability to identify this world and come up with things put together. I invent cement. I make bricks out of mud. I make stones out of bigger stones like this. That skill is also given to me. That amazing skill which only the human being has given to me. So we say that potential was there. The potential to create this concrete jungle also was given to me. So the laptop that I'm looking at did not exist, not given before. Our parents did not have the benefit of this laptop. But today, every grandson, granddaughter goes to the grandfather and grandmother and says, "Pa, look at this, look at this." And the parents are looking at this and just amazed. So much is coming, so much new things are there. So the potential to create all that is given. So we say this laptop has to have an author. Nobody can say the laptop is created just like that, like the tree is created. So somehow I attribute authorship to all these things, and like building and laptop and clock and vehicle, cars and rockets and 737 Max and so forth, which is in the news now. So how come we say we need an author for all these things? Somebody intelligent has to have created it. We can't accept. So we can't accept somebody saying these watches were just coming. Not possible. Something in us says this has been deliberately put together to serve a particular purpose, therefore must have an author. This is the logic we give. So that is good, and that same thinking makes us ask the question: who created this world? The plant is producing chlorophyll and it is absorbing sunlight, and they talk about photosynthesis and amazing, and it keeps producing flowers and fruits, and it keeps on producing these fruits. Year after year, constantly it gives all this. There is so much knowledge involved. The botanists are still busy. The botany department is not getting smaller. The medicine, the hospitals, research institutions are not getting smaller. They're only getting bigger. So they say there are 1,000 hospitals. There are so many 500 hospitals in 1,000 hospitals in Coimbatore, small and big. Big ones are there. And they say there are 4,000, 5,000 doctors, and some 2,000 of them are part of this medical association. The president was telling like that one day. And all these hospitals meant to serve just this one human being, right? The subject of these doctors is just this human being. One small little piece in this world, and the science is constantly evolving. So constantly discovering what is already there. Correct? What is already there is being discovered. It's a very important thing. We need to understand this. Yes, it is true that the latest advances were not there just last week, just last month, just last year it was not there. And today it is there. But all to take care of this one little part, the kidney, one little part, the heart. And the potential to create all this was already there. Only now we have come to the point, we have enough knowledge that we could make this iPhone. Why did they not make it 20 years ago? 20 years ago also, we didn't have that knowledge to make this iPhone. 50 years ago, there was no cell phone. 40 years ago. No, I'm being safe by saying 50 years ago, because even though we started using these cell phones only 20 years ago or something, because they say many of these things are coming from space technology. These astronauts used to use all these things. So all this Wi-Fi and all must have been there when they sent rockets and all that, right? So that's why we need to be a little careful. So the potential to create was there, and the ability to organize things together was given to me. That potential, that skill is also given. And I use those skills, and that is why a good doctor will be honest, will say, I am only sharing with you what you know. There is so much I don't know. And I offer medicines, I offer you a treatment, but the curing happens because of Ishvara. Paramatma will take care of you, don't worry. And you come to me, you call me anytime you want. That reassurance he gives. So, that is the beauty that reflects what we understand of this world. Because everything is given, we are only tapping into, Swamiji uses the word tapping into this mind of Ishvara. Every time. I heard a statement once attributed to Einstein, whether it is true or not, I don't know. Something like, oh God, tell me your thoughts and the rest are details. Something like that. Rest are details, I can figure out the details, don't worry. You tell me all your thoughts. The major thoughts you tell me. That's what he's saying. So all this is given. And we are saying, how did it come about? If I can't accept the fact that this pair of glasses, I went and I just picked around these glasses, I kept wearing, it was all there, and some tree was giving all these glasses, we can't accept that statement. Why not? If a tree can produce a fruit, why it can't produce these glasses? And in fact, these glasses, less technology than the fruit. The mango fruit or so many fruits which give so much nutrition to us, which sustains our life. I can live without these glasses, but I can't live without these fruits and vegetables. And why a tree can't produce these glasses? So that's technology required to make this simple pair of glasses. Itself, we are saying author is needed. So our rishis have asked the question, how did this creation come about? So really, if these people, these physicists are analyzing this, they must give credit to Vedanta. They must give credit to our rishis, really speaking. They should say, acknowledge that, these people have talked about it and it is all written in our book. Tasmadva etasmad akashas sambhutaha. And they have proposed a model. Like that, they should say, they should give Taittiriya Upanishad as a reference. In these journal papers, they have references, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, they should give this Taittiriya Upanishad as a reference. If they are honest, they should do that. But if they have to do that, then they must understand the model and they must understand it also. So, without understanding, you can't refer to something. So, now somebody says, no. Why are you worried about all this? By understanding how the tree was created, is it going to solve any of your problem? You are worried about so many things. Your children you are worried about. Your husband, your wife, your parents you are worried about. And you don't know, you are worried. Somebody called me and said, my son is so and so, and I'm so worried. So this worry is there. And you're talking about this tree and planets and galaxies. Galaxies, how they came about? Why are you worried? It's all given to you. Just enjoy. Just use whatever is available and enjoy. Prakritivada. So it's all nature. It's all natural. But even the physicist cannot accept that statement. Where is the question of a Vedantin accepting that statement? So, for us, the understanding has to be complete. Then only everything resolves. Then only this so-called Shanti and Nirvanam and Moksha is possible. So bits and pieces analysis is not possible. That's the beauty of Vedanta. Okay. So therefore, we conclude that any object that is created even by me, by the human being, is intelligently put together with an intention in mind, with a purpose in mind. We saw all that before. And therefore, that product is given and that product serves a purpose. Intelligently put together like this pair of glasses. So they call this a pair of glasses. So I think that's what I should say. So it's only one spectacle only it is, but they say pair of glasses. So something intelligently put together, and it has a name like spectacles, glasses, etc. And all this name, function, everything comes together, converges into an object which is created, quote unquote. So these classes are created. Then I look at animals and the nest is created and the web is created. You know, the web that is there in the room, not the World Wide Web, the web that is there on top. When you look around, especially in single people's rooms, single men's rooms, if you look around, there'll be more webs also. because they rarely look up. These days, look down on the phone only. Constantly look down on the iPhone or the phone, smartphone. So where is the question of looking up? So looking up doesn't arise. Suddenly one day somebody, mom or dad, comes and says, "What? What have you done to this room? Look at this, it's such a mess." This fellow is living happily. And she comes and says, "It's a mess." And so he doesn't understand what mess a mom is talking about. So this web is also an intelligently put together creation with a purpose. And the spider, intelligent being, has that knowledge and knows why it is creating the web. So not only web is an intelligent creation, the hands and legs and the mind behind that web, the spider, is also an intelligent creation. Correct? And the symbiosis that goes on in this world, my God, it's absolutely amazing how one depends on the other. And, even in my room, I think about it sometimes. So when I look at this web and then I say, should I really remove it or not? Because the insects are there. And despite all this, what is this called? Netlon and all that, there's filters that cover the window. And still, flies are there, mosquitoes are there. And then I saw one day an insect was trapped in this web, and the spider was going after it and probably stunning the insect. And the insect just became like that. And then I saw, okay, so here is a symbiosis. So the spider is helping me by doing its job. If the insect is caught in the web, then it is not flying in front of the laptop. And so you see, I'm getting help from the spider. So I will let him be where he is. He's not bothering me. He's there in his own place. He doesn't come in front and drop on the book. No, he doesn't do that. He also is intelligent enough. So why should I do anything to the spider? Let him be. So I leave him like that. Then there is another fellow walking around. And I have one guy here. And he's called the lizard. He's called the lizard. And where there are insects and spiders, there will be a lizard also. And so the lizard controls the spider population. The spider controls the other small insect population. And it's so amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Then who controls the lizard population in this apartment, if you ask? Amazing thing I found is, I don't have to do anything. I let the lizard be. He will walk around and all that. And as long as you don't come near me, I'm okay. And don't drop on this bed and this table. That is okay. And he does his job. He walks around, he does his job. And then I think what happens is, this fellow keeps the other lizards away. He doesn't want any other lizard to come in this house. So this one lizard controls the lizard population in this apartment. That is my conclusion. I'm drawing a conclusion.
Okay.
Because there is a fight for this geographical, "Ito mera hai." I am the king of this jungle. So all animals do that, right? Dogs do that. They mark off the area and all that. So they mark the area. So the new person that comes, the new dog that comes, knows, oh, okay, there is somebody here. So they have their own way of communicating. So look at how much intelligence is there here. So now the question comes, is there an author for this world? And now I have a great logic. And what is the logic? Yes, there is an author. You don't know who the author is. And that author is called God. Oh, really? God. Yeah. And where can the God be? Can we look at him? Can we look for him? Yes, you can look for him. Okay. See, the thinking is like this. In all these created objects that we have done, we have seen in this world, the objects created by the human being, the object is separate from the creator. So the maker of the fan is separate from the fan, is different from the fan. And this concrete jungle we talk about was created by human beings. And the creator is of course different from the building. Like this, the created object and the creator are always different. Therefore, if somebody says, where is God? Where can God be? He can't be in this earth because the earth is created object. And so, yahan to nahi milega. Don't worry looking for God. Don't waste your time. Then where is God? See, then that is how this finger pointing starts. Because he has to be, he can't be here, so he has to be there only. And where, there means where? Arey, Swarg hai. Our Shastras only answer all these questions. You know, Swarg is there, it is, heaven is up there. And not just up, there is 7 up also. And 7 up, Sapta. You know, Sapta Swarga. It's all coming from Vedas. All these fellows, I tell you, they copied so much from the Vedas. I'm so upset by all this. And they have simply copy, paste, and they patent all these things. And you should all take them back. Take it all back. So 7 up. So 7 up mein, then the 7th floor penthouse mein beta hai. That guy is called Ishwar, God. Can I meet him? Next question, right? Now, we don't think about whether this is right or wrong. But we believe all this and then we say, can I meet him? Yes, you can meet him. And when can I meet him? Not in this Janma. After death, definitely you will go and meet him. Really? Yes, you will meet him. You just follow me, that's all. Follow this book, follow me, and then you will meet him. This is how religion starts. All religions are like this one. So this God idea, up idea, and after death idea, all these things come from this basic, simple question, an important question also, right? How did the world come about? Now, this dialogue happens between father and son. I'll give father and son example now. So, they're having a very profound dialogue about this creation. So, the dad says, Dad, who created this world? And dad says, of course, God created this world. You know, he's a religious person. So God created this world. And so where God created this world? Who is God? Well, God is a very powerful being. Because to create this world, he has to be powerful. Then the son nods and said, yeah, he must be a powerful person. So already he and all, gender also assigned to God, by the way, right? We must understand all that. Then, where is this God? God is in heaven, beta. You must understand. Swarg mein hai. He can't be here. Because how can he be here? He has given it all for us and he created all of us. He put us here and then he's in heaven. But Dad, 1 minute. You said he's in heaven? Yes. And who created heaven? And dad says, say, stupid fellow, Buddhu, who created heaven means what you're asking. Did I create heaven? Did you create heaven? No. God only created heaven. Acha, God created heaven also. Yeah, God created heaven and He for Himself, and He gave us all these things. Okay. Then the son goes one step ahead. He says, okay, God created heaven, you said. So, before creating this heaven, where was God? Now the father is getting a little jittery because until now he is happy, he said everything. Now this question he can't say he was in hell. Before creating heaven, he was in hell. He can't say that. Because then the next question will be, he created hell before creating heaven? Then he has to make up stories. Yeah, he created hell, he stayed there, but the hell was too hot and this is unbearable. And sometimes our manufacturers make mistakes, right? And so like that, God realized, oh, this is a big mistake. And I can't live in hell. So I must create something else, and I create a heaven. That's why God created heaven. So he was in hell before that. But the father realizes he can't give this argument because the son will ask, before creating hell, where was God? You tell me. Like that. So this is the beauty. Our children are so innocent. They think free. They are not worried about, is my question a stupid question? All these funny ideas they don't have. Whatever comes in their mind, they will ask. And then it takes the father and mother, I suppose, and beat them up and say, you can't ask these questions. How dare you ask this question? Do you have homework or not? Tomorrow homework is due, right? It's already 9 o'clock. You must go do your homework. So finished. So repeatedly you suppress this fellow's curiosity. And then he says, okay, I bow down to you. And I will do whatever you say. So the very intelligent mind, thinking mind, free mind, carefree mind. Oh boy, what a mind that is. How I wish I have that kind of a mind. And is given all these concepts, and then is told you should not ask certain questions also. See, that also is a big problem. At least if that freedom to ask is given to me, I can make my way and find my way out. So this is the situation. And like other religions, stop right here. Heaven, God is in heaven, you will go and meet him because you are a believer and you are giving me 10% of your salary. Therefore, you will go and meet God. Over. This is the end of any other religion. You go look at all these books, everything, this is what you will find. Beyond that, there is nothing. And you will, they have some words. You will beatific presence of God. They use all these words. And you will be near God, in front of God, next to God, whatever. And that is the goal. Over. That is the goal of human life. And that happens after death. All that is very well clearly given. This is not acceptable to our rishis. Not possible. Because the question itself is not answered. Which question? Okay, where was God before heaven or hell or whatever you say? The question where itself, then Vedanta comes and says, where when you say, you're talking about space. You're talking about space. You're assuming that space is given. Once the space is given, then you can talk about where. Correct? Once space is given, you can talk about where is Pluto. Oh, Pluto is so many million miles from here, it is revolving around the sun in such radius or whatever. You can say. Where is this other galaxy? Where is Milky Way? And where is how big is Milky Way? All this you can talk about assuming space is given. When did God create all this? When did the world come into being? The word when, if you ask, implies time. Time, you are taking time for granted. Arey bhai, before creation, space and time itself did not exist, is the statement our rishis make. That is the time, that is, in fact, that is the time also we can't say. So this idea of time that you're talking about, the idea of space you have about this all-pervasiveness and this accommodation space, accommodating space you talk about, itself did not exist. You can't partially say you can't take some things for granted and then talk about the creation of this part of the world. Correct? That is Vedanta. Okay. This is where beauty, this is the beauty of Vedanta. So nothing, you can't take anything for granted. And that time and space which have been taken for granted in classical physics, Newton took it for granted, and all of these other classical physicists, they use the word classical physics for that. Then others have come, and Einstein's theory of relativity, etc., and they have recognized that time itself is part of this creation, correct? And so this is where we are. This is how this idea of so-called, this is why we can't use the word creation, because the word creation has been used up by these other religions and say this world is a creation, and they have given a time also. One intelligent religion talks about world came about 2000 years ago. 2000 years ago. And you tell him, hey, beta, dekho, there is something called carbon dating. And if you do the dating, you find even some trees are more than 2000 years old. Forget about these stones which are millions of years ago. You go, some trees are so many thousand years old. And then there is all this dinosaurs and skeletons they have found which are all millions of years old. And where is 2000? Where is 2 million? What are you talking? And he has an answer for this also. He says, hey Buddhu, we are talking about God here. You think God is not intelligent enough to throw a few dinosaur skeletons here and there? You know, like you sprinkle turmeric and jeera in your sambar. You know, like that he sprinkled some dinosaur bones here and there. You think he is not that intelligent? And you measure it and you say a million years. God has to be more intelligent than you. You are really stupid. You don't understand anything. Like that he talks. Then what will you do? What I will do is this. I will say namaskar to him. I will say namaste. I am happy meeting you. Very nice to meet you. And no need to exchange phone numbers and all that. Enough. And may everything be well with you. And nice meeting you. And then walk away from there. Because you can't argue. Any more you argue, this mind, our mind, we have to protect, no? No, we have to protect our mind. And so we just let go of these people. So Vedanta, we are entering into this fantastic, that's why we can't call Vedanta a subject also. Because again, subject means a discrete, a topic which has a definite boundary, and so we can't say subject also. So this is Vedanta. And we are entering this Tattvabodha Vichara, which we will continue in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।